This section's been pretty well covered.
Got a live one tonight, Captain.
Heavy taxpayer, huh?
That's right.
Who?
Monica Madison. Movie actress.
This was in her purse. No prints. She wore gloves.
That her, huh?
Yeah. A lot of dough must have been spent on her publicity last year.
What a waste.
What else in the purse?
Usual female equipment. Some of the stuff's still being checked.
This was in her purse. That's the place across the street. She might have been slumming.
Doesn't add up. What did she come here for after premiere? Find out if she really was at the premiere.
She was dressed for one, all right.
Here's the premiere committee list. Get in touch with all of them. You have to. If she was there, who was she with? Where did she go later? Then we may get a line on how and when she got here.
A lot of big names on that list. We might be stretching our necks out for getting them up at this hour.
They're probably still living it up at this after premiere party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just get after it, huh?
Right, Captain.
What about robbery? Any indication she might have been robbed?
No, there was $42.12 in her purse and a ton of jewelry on her arm was still intact.
Well, that's yes.
Bring him over. Get after this list, Chuck.
I'll try the Vagabond restaurant first.
Get in.
What type of alarm? 7A2 clear. 7X7.
What are you doing here? Aren't you off duty?
Come in.
Until 10 tomorrow night. Excuse me, Captain.
You pitching in on your own time?
Huh?
You know there's been a murder?
Yeah, I just got wind of it in the club.
How long were you in there?
I don't know. I must have had a few.
A few? You stink. Who are you kidding? You reek with booze.
So I was drinking. On my own time.
How long were you in that club?
I don't know.
How long?
Well,
An hour? 2? 3 hours? How long?
well, no more than 3 hours. I don't know exactly.
7X7 clear. 13A.
All right, I was drunk.
But you've sobered up.
13A.
Excuse me, Captain.
Who is he?
Medical examiner. Replacement for Dr. Sayer.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Urquhart.
Kruger?
That's right. What did you find out?
My name's Dr. Urquhart. Dr. Sayer will be back from his vacation in 2 weeks.
Excuse me.
What did you find out, Doc?
Well, this is unofficial. You'll get a complete report from the coroner's office in the morning. Strangulation. She still looks fresh. Could have been within the hour. Cold seems to be getting worse instead of better. These hours. Oh, by the way, Sergeant, I doubt if that slight cut in the throat was a fingernail scratch. I think the lab boys will bear me out on that. It seems to me that a fine cloth was drawn across that area.
Friction between the skin and the necklace or something similar?
No, Cap. Well, perhaps if the necklace had a sharp edge. But it seems to me a fine fabric was tightened around that area, then yanked.
That strangled her?
No. A pair of hands choked her to death. Coughed her up.
No.
Well, I better put this cold of mine to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, doctor. Better see a doctor about that cold.
Yeah.
East 108th Street.
Get a complete list of her jewelry.
Sure thing, Captain.
Anyone in the club hear a scream or a yell or anything?
1A13 clear. 1L10 Roger. 6A11. 6A11.
Characters like you make a 3-ring circus out of any good police department. You make me sick to my stomach.
Your cops having the ball? You know there's a dead body over there?
All right, smart guy, move on.
Oh, the killer's in Europe by now.
Look, Captain, what difference does it make what I do in my own time?
You wear your badge and gun 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, I'll get some coffee and try to help out on this thing.
You better get enough sleep.
Look, Captain, this thing has happened before to better cops than me. I'm sorry, I feel rotten about it. I'd like to do something to make up for it if I can.
When you go back to duty tomorrow night, you better be fresh as a daisy. Sergeant, call me as soon as you get a line on the jewelry in that committee.
Right, Captain.
Let's go.
48401.
Where's your friend?
Blonde, eh?
How long are they going to leave her here?
Got any idea who she is?
We're through.
Monica Madison,
Hey, Dwayne,
movie actress.
you take a look at this.
Look, I got work to
Maybe
do.
you make out what it is. Right here, Dwayne.
Got a cigarette?
Huh?
Got a cigarette, Sergeant?
Oh, you bet.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Okay, hang on to these, George. I got another pipe.
Thanks. You must have got rid of your blonde in a hurry.
What blonde?
The one you left the club with. Hey, what's happening over there?
Girl murdered.
Yeah, I heard, but what happened? Was she shot or knifed or what?
I don't know. I was off duty. Why don't you cross over and take a look for yourself?
Oh, no. My curiosity ends right here.
About due to take off for home, aren't you?
As soon as I mop up the club, I'm through.
How long you been at it tonight?
Oh, I came on about the time you started your second bottle. I better make like I'm busy, though, before Joe comes out here. Thanks for the cigarettes, Sergeant. I'll return them to you tomorrow. I just don't want to pay the price Joe asked. He thinks I'm a tourist. See you.
Yeah.
Why, I could never figure out how anybody could do a thing like this.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Al. Hey, I guess your wife missed you. You're standing in a crowd like this and all. She's on her way home.
Well, she told me to wait for her here. You don't like to work late.
Yeah, but she wasn't feeling well. She asked Connie to take over for her. Better get after her. Ain't safe for a woman to be alone on the streets at this hour, especially with the maniac that did this still on the loose.
Frighten you?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
Let me help you.
No, please don't.
I did frighten you.
Please don't.
I merely tried to be a...
Am I intruding? Why don't you invite your friend in, Peggy?
But he's not mine.
I was looking for apartment 4. This lady happened.
This is apartment 4.
Oh. Oh, then you must be Alex Vaux, the caricaturist.
That's right. I draw funny pictures of very unfunny people.
I'd like to have you draw a caricature of me.
You want me to draw you now?
Yes.
Do you know what time it is?
What's the difference? Only my caricatures aren't made on the spot. First, I make some rough sketches and notes. My finished caricature delivered in a few days. Price is $10. $5 down. Guaranteed to make all your friends laugh at you.
Certainly. I could pay you the full amount now if you like.
You inspire me. Come on in. Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
That's quite unlikely. I should have been in possession of one of your clever caricatures long before this.
How about a drink?
Fine.
Empty.
That's all right.
How about coffee?
Yes. Mind if I look at your work?
No, this is just some of my rough sketches and notes. My better stuff is in here. Just leave it there so I know where it is.
I'll put some coffee on.
You've been very productive.
I try to keep at it. Excuse me. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
What are you standing there like that for?
I'm tired, that's all.
Well, go to bed.
When he leaves.
Okay, the sketching will take 5 minutes.
And the coffee, another 10. Oh, if there's only some other night. The club was so busy tonight. I've been on my feet since I don't know when.
You want me to give him his money back and chase the guy out?
Oh, you don't have to chase anybody out, Al. All I said, I was just tired, that's all.
Always something. You always have to be complaining about something.
Please, Al, no one's complaining, honey. No, please don't pick a fight with me tonight.
Sorry, Peggy. I know you're tired, but I gotta make that $10. Won't take long, baby, I promise you.
All right. Honey, I made $14.25 in tips tonight.
Is that a dig or something?
What are you so sensitive about, Al?
You're always tossing that in my face. So you made $14 in tips tonight.
Please, honey.
You work 6 days a week for a lousy $30, and you support your husband
Don't
as a
say
bum
that.
and no talent.
That's not true, Al.
It isn't. I'm a phony, and I know it.
You're not a phony. That's not true. You're a fine artist, Al.
Artists don't go around bars begging for a few bucks to caricature people. And I can't even give away my serious paintings for nothing.
Maybe if you stop feeling sorry for yourself, why things would be different.
Oh, sure.
Look, you brood too much, Al. You're just torturing yourself, darling, and it's getting worse and worse.
You don't understand.
I do understand. I know that when you get in one of these moods, that you're down in the dumps for weeks.
Do you blame me?
No, but then you start drinking and staying out at all hours.
I enjoy myself.
No, but you're not helping yourself out. You're not doing us any good.
It's not doing us any good.
No. Look, hon, let's face it. You can't accomplish a thing that way. Look, maybe if you got a regular job. Yes, a regular job until maybe we got back on our feet and...
I'll sell some caricatures this week.
How many do you think you can sell?
As many as I can.
What, 2 or 3? Well, you don't make enough, Al. It isn't enough. Why, my salary and tips hardly make the food and the rent for the month.
Okay. I'll get a job in the morning.
You get a job. You've been saying that for months. Why, you couldn't get a job. All you do is drink and draw and sleep all day.
I gotta sleep.
Yeah, you and your sleep. That's what you do. Draw, drink, and sleep. Why don't you get out? Leave me. Get out.
I'll get out. I can't do your caricature tonight. Here's your money.
You keep it. I'll come back some other time.
Al.
Your husband's extremely talented. His humor is so simple and direct. Marvelous. I hope my coming here at this late hour hasn't caused you any trouble.
No, of course not.
You must be very tired.
I couldn't sleep now.
It's very difficult for me to get away from my work during the daytime. I was told that 2 o'clock in the morning was the only time I could find your husband in. This is excellent.
Yeah, they're all great.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I guess I need some coffee. I'm sorry I haven't anything stronger to offer you. As a matter of fact, I'd like something stronger myself right now.
Perhaps a short drive would help. We could stop somewhere for a drink. Oh, your husband wouldn't approve of that, I suppose.
I'd love to go. I'll get my sweater.
As soon as George finishes cleaning up there, I'm lighting up the place. What are you trying to do? Give my place a bad name? Even if 10 bodies were found across the street, why pick out my customers or my hired help? It'd be different if any trouble started here, am I right, Sergeant?
We gotta do it, Joe. We gotta follow routine.
And what you saying? We're busy serving food. Since the bar closes at 3, well, it does. Kitchen was doing good business. I had to get out on the floor and help the waitresses myself. Oh, I care what goes on the outside or in the phone booth when I'm busy cleaning the tables and handling the cash register all at the same time.
You got a waitress named Peggy Bone? What's her address and phone number?
Yeah, that's 206 Alamo.
Thanks.
If this doesn't scare away all my help, I don't know what. You're lucky you were going around that time, or they'd even question you.
Yeah, it was pretty gone, wasn't I? Hey, you know it's against the law to serve intoxicated customers?
Hold it, Sergeant. You were partially loaded when you left here, but not half as loaded as when you came back.
I don't even remember it.
In your condition? Oh, what? I was busy setting the table for a barbecue rib order when you reeled back in the club. And Connie there put you in the booth. Connie!
You're wasting a lot of time if you ask me.
You can go now, lady.
Thanks. Yeah?
What'd you do at the blind you left with last night?
Put her in a cab and sent her home.
You want me, Joe?
Yeah, fill in a couple of blank spots for the sergeant, Con.
Connie, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Ask me. Look, I've told the sergeant everything. Sergeant, look, there's my husband.
This won't take a minute.
I'll be with you in a moment, friend.
Where's the chef, Joe?
In the
You
kitchen.
must still be groggy.
Just sit down and clear me up on a few things, will you?
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Golly, did I hurt you?
It's all right. What do you mean I must still be groggy?
Well, the last time you were in here, you were pretty, well...
Drunk, I know.
More than usual. Where did you put on that extra load?
Never mind that.
Where's Sergeant Dwayne?
In the kitchen.
Connie, at 1 o'clock this morning, you helped me into a booth.
You look pretty wobbly as you were leaving with that blonde.
Take it downtown for final testing.
Radio Captain Kroger allowed.
Right away.
At least we know the killer's scratched up.
Wait a minute, Connie.
Sergeant, I've
What's
got...
up, Dwayne?
My husband's waiting
All
for
right.
me. Now, can I go?
You can go.
Thanks. So long.
What's the latest?
The lab boy has found flesh particles under the dead girl's fingernails. She must have clotted the killer.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Gotta get my work done.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me. Better get some fresh water. Let's get your coat off, Sergeant.
Hey, George! Come on, George. Let's get the place cleaned up. Come on, George.
We'll stop at my place for a drink before I drive you home, all right?
Oh, it's late.
You'll feel better after you have a drink.
What time is it?
It's time you relaxed a bit.
What's your watch say?
I haven't been driving very long. Come on up for a drink.
Why not? A garden in your own home. Oh, what a gorgeous living room. And a fireplace. Is it imitation? I mean, it does burn real logs and things. Huh?
Yes, it does. Here, let me have your things. I'll show you.
Oh, no. I'd like it even if it didn't work. Thanks.
It's no bother.
No, no. I'll be comfortable just sitting and looking at it.
What are you laughing at?
It's just that I turned down a dozen offers a night for something like this. And here I am. Oh, don't get me wrong.
Of course not. What would you like to drink?
Scotch and water, if you have it.
I think so.
Fine.
Do you like music?
Very much.
Absolutely one of the greatest symphonies ever written.
What?
How does it strike you?
I like it. But could you turn it down just a little bit?
I like it this way. It's the only way to enjoy music.
It's like being surrounded by the orchestra, completely engulfed in sound.
It's the only way to lock oneself in from the world.
My ears.
Bad host. It's just that I so tremendously enjoy every instrument being played.
Well, it's just that I like my music a little bit softer.
Yes? Well, turn it down.
Oh, Frank. Frank, there's someone at the door. You're not the only one that works.
Honey? Honey? Please, let me talk to you.
No. All right, so you're not sleeping. What an actor. You can't fool me. All right, I am coming.
Connie? It's Sergeant Stevens, Connie.
What do you want? It better be good. Don't you know you're waking up people?
I've got to talk to you, please. It's important. Thanks, Connie. I know it's late. You can help us get the killer.
You cops are really bugged about this killing. But why not get the information from the sergeant down at the club? I told you I didn't see or hear anything out of line, honest. So why bother us at this time of night?
Connie, do you remember the blonde I was seen leaving the club with?
Yeah, I remember seeing her a couple of times. Why ask me? You were with her. Well, what do you want me to do, kick a cop out?
Miss Adams seems to have disappeared.
Just like her. Her name isn't Adams, Sergeant. I don't know what name she's using now, but whatever it is, it's not her real name. She goes by Candy Price.
I see. The clerk down at the Westwood Manor seems to think she's never registered there.
You must have been drinking Mickey's all night. The Westwood Manor. Look, Sergeant, she lives in the same building as Peggy Bowe.
You mean Peggy Bowe, the waitress?
Yeah, the good looker. Joe gave the sergeant her address if you want it.
I do. I love you, Connie.
Yeah, well, let's not get too chummy. We have an intruder.
I promise you won't be bothered any more tonight.
I'll make sure of that.
You've been helpful.
Thanks.
Thanks again.
How are the answers I gave him going to help him catch a murderer? How could I be involved in a murder? And how are they going to catch the murderer anyway? Who'd want to commit a murder?
What is it?
I'll be frank with you. You've got to know why I brought you here.
What's that light out there?
Do you believe your husband loves you?
Please.
It's the pool.
Swimming pool? How wonderful. May I see it?
I'd love to take a swim.
Why don't you? I'm sure there must be a suit here that will fit you. Go on, have fun.
Miss Price? Are you all right?
Where have you been, honey?
You know where I've been.
Get me a fresh drink, will you, honey? Did that take 4 hours?
I was gone 4 hours.
It's been about that long. Thanks, honey. You told me you'd be right up.
I told you that and left you here. Well?
Are you kidding? What do you mean here?
All right, where did I leave you?
In back of the Can-Can Club.
I left you at the...
At the Can-Can.
Where'd I say I was going? I was gone 4 hours. Where'd I say I was going? Where was I going?
You're hitting me. Who is this, honey? Oh, Harry.
This is station WADM. For our late listeners, we present a rebroadcast of a program transcribed earlier this evening.
Say, Harry.
Your host is Larry
What's your
Jackson.
last name?
All Hollywood has turned out for this gala widescreen
I've been a
premiere
good
of
girl.
Blondes
I've been
on
staying
Broadway at the Babylonian
Really?
Theater. The picture
Why'd you wait
introduces
so long to
the
come?
sensational blonde discovery, Monica Madison. Miss Madison is right here at the microphone now, waiting to say hello. I'd like to tell your fans that your escort tonight is Claude Olmsted, one of our town's better-known columnists, who's responsible for bringing Miss Madison to Hollywood's attention.
That's right.
Nice to have you at the mic, Claude.
It's a little late.
Pleasure's all mine, Larry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was Mr. Olmsted that made Monica Madison the most talked-about young actress through his widely syndicated column. Am I not right, Monica?
Yes. I'm very grateful to Mr. Olmsted.
I was merely the first to see the obvious.
All right, that's a date now.
Have
Say,
either
Harry.
of you seen the picture?
What do you look like?
Wonderful, and I'm
Oh, sure, I was only
Well,
kidding.
thank you, Monica Madison and
Crazy,
Claude
honey.
Olmsted, for chatting with us. Thank you.
Good night, Larry.
Monica Madison, ladies and gentlemen, a girl with a wonderful
What
future.
again?
And coming to the microphone right now is the star of Blondes on Broadway, Felicia Flanders. By all I've heard about B&B Blondes on Broadway, it's a great show, and you've never looked better.
Want some? I missed you, Al. Where'd you been?
Are you nuts?
You've been ignoring me, Al.
Oh, for crying out loud. Peggy?
Hello. Yes, this is he. What seems to be the matter, Sergeant? Yes, I did escort Miss Madison to the premiere last night. Well, why now?
We'll appreciate your cooperation, Mr. Olmsted.
Where do you want me to be? The Can-Can Club? Where? Yes, I've got it.
Aren't you in enough trouble with the captain?
Let me worry about it.
You had no right to do what you just did.
You know what you're doing?
I'm in charge here, Stevens, and I heard the captain tell you to go and sleep it off.
What's the matter? You afraid I'll get to the bottom of this case before you do?
That's not it. But what's the rush? The department can't
The
afford
department can go
I'll
to...
see you in the morning.
Well, now, look, Dwayne, I goofed. Try to look at it my way. I'm trying to get back in good standing by pitching in on my own time. And I found out a couple of things.
Yeah, like what?
Like, who was Monica Madison's escort the night of the premiere?
Olmsted?
Right. Look, Dwayne, do me a favor. Don't say anything to the captain about my calling Olmsted just now. If my talk with him backfires, I'll take the whole blame for it myself. How about it?
All right. But I gotta be there and I gotta know what's going on.
You will.
Who are you gonna call?
Larry Jackson, the all-night disc jockey.
Yeah, who is it?
Jack Stevens.
Oh, hi, Sergeant. Listen, can you hold the phone just a second? I've got to flip a disc.
Yeah, I'll hold on. Olmsted and Monica Madison were interviewed on Jackson's broadcast of the Blondes on Broadway premiere.
Will you tell me how much longer so I can call the wife?
Shut up, will you, Joe?
There it was, ladies and gentlemen, Buddy Nesbitt's new hit. And on the reverse side, everything's a mambo. Yeah, what is it, Sergeant? Yeah, well, that part of the show was taped. They went on just before, Well, yes, they were ignoring each other. As a matter of fact, just before they got on mic, they were arguing.
How long are you gonna joke with this disc jockey? Why don't you cops let me go home?
You know what the story is, don't you? Well, Olmsted's crazy about the girl, keeps plugging her every day in his column. Made her one of the hottest things in town. And, yes, she used him. The rumor is that now that she's on top, she's dropping him. I couldn't say. Can you tell me what's going on? I understand. Okay, anytime.
Thanks, Larry.
Give me a break, will you?
You don't want to interfere with justice, do you, Joe?
Justice? What you're doing to me is justice. I ain't interfering with justice, but you cops are interfering with my sleep.
Blow, will you, Joe, till we need you?
You cops ain't got no right ordering me around my own place.
What'd you find out?
That my hearing's all right. Olmsted and Madison were definitely angry at each other.
You mean they argued at the premiere? Jackson verifies that?
Says they argued even before the interview.
Who's in charge here?
What do you want?
Are you in charge?
That's right, I'm Sergeant Duane. What do you want?
Well, maybe it doesn't mean a thing, Sergeant.
Well, why bother us then?
I don't want to get an innocent guy into trouble.
Well, say what you gotta say, mister.
What's your name?
This guy draws the funniest pictures.
For Pete's sake, take off.
I'm trying to tell you, this guy works for me. He doesn't flatter my customers with his drawings. He usually insults them. But they sure get a big bang.
What's your
out of
name?
that.
Alex Vogel.
Well, what do you want to tell us?
I draw caricatures of Joe's customers. I'd like to show you something. A couple of nights ago, Monica Madison was in there.
Hey, that's right. She was in here all right.
Relax, will you, Joe, for a while? Go on.
Well, I don't remember too much. I was kind of high. You know how it is, customers buying drinks. Well, I just don't remember too clearly.
Yeah, I know how it is. Go on.
Well, I do remember trying to sketch Miss Madison. You know, pictures of celebrities help to promote business.
Naturally.
Well, she must have moved around or something because I never quite finished it then. But here, look. I got some other sketches on the same sheet.
Yeah, you were a busy boy that night.
Yeah, see this one?
Who is he?
Let me look at it.
For Pete's sake, take off.
Is it all right if I breathe? Can I breathe in my own joint even? You guys ain't at all polite like them cops on TV.
Shut up. Who's the guy in the sketch?
Well, he was looking kind of weird like it, Miss Madison.
Weird?
Hey, I know the guy.
Like he was trying to look through her or something. The thing that worries me, though, is my wife.
Wife? Why?
I left her in the apartment with her. He came up with a story about wanting a caricature of himself.
Why should your wife being out with this guy worry you?
I saw Monica Madison's dead body across the street a while ago.
Madison?
I want to remember seeing this guy looking the way he did it.
What'd you do?
Miss Madison. I knew there was something funny about him wanting a caricature this hour. I recognized him then.
Didn't you recognize him when he came up to your apartment tonight?
No, I didn't. And he didn't let on that he had seen me before. Anyway, we got into an argument, my wife and I. And I took off. When I got back to the apartment, both of them were gone.
Come here. I want to show you something.
I knew there was something funny about him wanting a caricature at that hour. If only I had recognized him then. I'm worried about my wife.
Sure, we understand.
Are you positive this is the same guy you saw the night you were drawing Miss Madison?
It's the same one, okay?
Joe!
Come here, I'll show you.
If you're gonna waste our time...
Come here.
How about it? Was it the same guy?
Yeah, I'm sure. I let him see some of my caricatures. When I got back to the apartment and didn't find either my wife or him, I couldn't figure. But it didn't bother me until I started straightening up my caricatures. Found the sketch of him. That's when I remembered seeing him and the way he kept looking at Monica Madison.
Joe wasn't kidding.
What do you mean? Yeah, that's the guy you sketched, all right. Was this taken the same night you made the sketches?
Must have been. It's the only time I ever saw Miss Madison alive.
Yeah, there's the drawings he's been showing us.
She was in here once before.
She was?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Who with?
Then she came in alone, looking for someone. I knew who she was the second she walked in. Sure was a beautiful chick.
He didn't ask you to caricature him the night this picture was taken.
No, that's why I got down here in a hurry when I found my sketch of him.
You did the right thing.
Why didn't he ask me to draw him then? Why did he come to our apartment past 2 in the morning? I can't help thinking something's wrong. Something's happened to my wife.
Look, Mr. Vaux. Mr. Vaux, in all probability, she's walking off the argument. The best thing to do is wait until morning.
Till morning?
There's not enough evidence to go on. If she hasn't showed up by morning, why notify the Missing Persons Bureau? If she shows up in the meantime, let us know. We'll be around here another hour or so.
Oh, now, come on. My wife will never believe this.
Call her up and tell her what's going on.
One of you guys will have to come along to explain.
What's the matter? You want to cause trouble? Come here.
Why can't we do things out in the open? Why are we always hiding? Why don't you tell her?
I told you why.
If she doesn't give you a divorce, leave her. I'll go with you anywhere.
It won't work.
Have you told her that you don't love her? That you love only me? Have you told her that, Al?
It's no use. We fight like cats and dogs, yet she swears she'd never give me a divorce.
You think she'd be tired of supporting you? Sorry. Guess that was below the belt, wasn't it? Maybe this will ease the pain.
I'm cured.
Better make sure. Good for nothing, but I'm crazy about you. You're trouble, Al. You always will be. But I've come along to give you a taste of your own medicine. We're wrong for each other. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to make you want me so that you'll keep wanting only me. I love you, Al.
Guy wasn't even in your class. You just said I'm a lot of trouble. I'm not fancy and I'm not famous, and you know how I scrounge for my dough.
You'll have money someday. You told me yourself if things work out, you'll have a lot of money. Anyway, I don't care about that. I've had them. I've had too many old men making promises. You're the thing I've always wanted. You're the only man for me. With you, my life would make sense. There's a certain fire in your lips, and you can be tender when you want to. What's wrong?
It's not the same.
What isn't?
Us. Something's wrong. Just the idea of Peggy being in danger makes this thing between us seem wrong.
What are you talking about?
I've got to find her.
What are you trying to pull?
Nothing.
What's this hot and cold routine? What's going on?
A couple of hours ago, a guy came up to the apartment, gave me a phony story about wanting me to caricature him. Peggy was tired, and we got into an argument, and I blew. I left the guy up in the apartment with her.
So?
The girl was murdered, and this guy, I don't know. I'm not sure, but this guy I left up in the apartment with her, he might be the murderer. Nothing's happened to her.
What about me?
I'm sorry, Candy. I didn't figure on things boomeranging the way they did. I was sure I didn't need her when I first met you. Tonight, I need her more than I ever did. Must have been crazy out of my head to figure it any other way.
With or without violins. I'd call this a brush-off.
It was my mistake. Tonight, my Peggy is the most important thing in my life. Forget about us, Candy. It's like you said. You and I, we just don't add up together.
Sure. Sure, I'll forget you. I'll stop searching for my kind of a dream. Maybe some guy will come along. A nice, quiet, shy type. We'll get married and have a normal, bored life.
Got it. I'm worried sick about my wife. Can't you understand that? There's a killer on the prowl, and she might be his next victim.
Well, there's your victim now. You're wasting your time worrying about her.
Where have you been?
Look here, Bo, I hope you didn't mind.
Mind? Why should I mind? She's only my wife. You too sure you haven't met somewhere before this morning? You know, it didn't register at first. I'd been drinking at the club. But out in the fresh air, it all came into focus. Why would anybody want me to draw them at such a late hour? You know, you can find me at the club every night till closing. Everybody will know what a good-for-nothing I'm married to. Come on. What have you two been up to? You've been drinking. And after I've been worrying my head off about you.
Why bother with her, Al? This is your chance to leave her. This is our chance, Al. This is our chance.
I've got things to do. Where's that fancy?
Will you be back? I'll be waiting for you, Al. I'll be waiting.
I'm called Olmsted.
That's him. That's the guy.
You'll be around, won't you, George?
Yeah, I've got lots to do yet.
I'll get to you later.
He's the one that was here the night Monica Madison was.
Cool off, Bo. We'll take care of this.
Sorry to bother you, Mr. Olmsted, but if the situation wasn't urgent, we wouldn't have disturbed you.
I understand. We'd like some answers, Olmsted.
I'm anxious to cooperate.
This is Sergeant Stevens. I'm Sergeant Dwayne.
I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Fine.
As soon as my lawyer arrives.
Why a lawyer?
Why the irregularity in police procedure? If I wanted for questioning, why isn't it conducted appropriately in a police station?
Because we choose to conduct it here.
I choose to wait for my lawyer.
You're smug, aren't you? Got a lot of influential friends, haven't you?
I know my rights. I came here to cooperate, not to be treated as a criminal. Please release me.
What was he doing with my wife?
You've shown good taste, if you ask me.
All right. Hold it till we need you, Bo.
That was uncalled for, Sergeant.
You'll have to pardon us, Mr. Olmsted, but we cops have a funny head. We're anxious to conclude the investigation as soon as possible.
Obviously.
This is no time for courtesy. Or shyster lawyers holding things up with a lot of red tape. You won't talk till your lawyer gets here. Why? What have you got to hide?
Look this way, Olmsted. We're talking to you.
I figured you'd still be here.
What'd you find out?
The premier party was still going strong when I got there.
Yeah?
Yeah, beautiful women all over the place.
Well, come on. What'd you find out?
Well, the Madison chick was at the premier and the party. The guy she was with was a Hollywood gossip writer. Claude...
Olmsted?
Yeah. Well, Madison and this guy were tooth and nail all evening.
You mean they were arguing?
Yeah. She was called to the phone about 1:45 or before, and she left the place with Olmsted right at her heels.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Except Miss Madison wasn't the most popular amongst her fellow workers. Oh, I didn't get a line on her jewelry.
We'll check that later. That's all I'll need.
Wait a minute. Where you going?
Gonna make him talk.
How?
You know.
Leave him alone.
What?
We've no proof he killed her.
What? Oh, come on now.
We're not sure he's the one.
Not sure. You're the one who found out he escorted her to the premiere, and they argued there. Jackson will testify to that. You heard what Chuck said. And what about him being in the vicinity shortly after her body was found? For my money, that's all they need to convince me.
Well, for my money, let's play it cool. I say wait till his lawyer gets here.
What gives? First you go hog wild trying to break all speed records for solving a case to prove I don't know what. Then you cool off when the finger points right at the killer.
But we're not sure. We're not sure.
I'll make sure. A little pressure will get the truth out of him.
But he could be innocent, you know.
Yeah? Got any other ideas who might have killed her?
Well, no, I haven't, but...
But nothing. Just listen to him sing when I lean on it.
Now, look, Dwayne. I don't want any credit or anything like that, but... Just give me 10 minutes alone with this guy.
No, sir. Look, I got work to do.
So have I. I've got to straighten myself out as a cop again. Oh, I know what you're thinking. I won't deny it. I drank. But I'm cured now. Don't ask me for details, but I'm cured. This murder tonight did it. 10 minutes, how about it? I've been playing ball with you. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here now.
It's my case, you know.
All yours.
Okay. 10 minutes.
Thanks. Any idea how long it'll take your lawyer to get here? Did you know Monica Madison was murdered? Did you kill her? You were her escort tonight at the theater. After that, you went to a radio program and argued. Why? Later on, you went to a party. Want to tell us what happened there? Why did she leave so abruptly? You followed her out. Where'd she go? Were you in love with her? You were in love with her, weren't you? You were in love with her.
I loved her.
Did she love you?
No more questions until my lawyer arrives, please.
She didn't love you, did she? You'd helped build her into a big star, and now she was giving you the brush off. That's why you killed her, isn't it?
Yes. I helped her career.
That yes also means you admit killing her, doesn't it? Look, Armstead, we want the truth. If you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide.
There were at least a dozen people at that party that Monica Madison hurt on her way out. Each one of them had a good reason to kill her. Why do you single me out?
I'll ask the questions.
I don't have to answer them.
You didn't have to kill either. Look, Armstead, your protege was murdered out there tonight. You're seen leaving a party right after her. Her body's found and you're in the vicinity. Why? What were you doing down here? Why'd you go to Vo's apartment?
I wanted a caricature.
Are you trying to tell me you left a party of big shots to come all the way down there at 2 o'clock in the morning for a caricature? Whose leg do you think you're pulling?
I wanted a caricature.
You were here before. Why didn't you have him draw you then?
What do you mean?
The time you sat in the back and kept an eagle eye on Monica Madison.
He waved me off when I asked him if he was interested in having me draw him.
What would I be doing here?
Lo remembered. It was his only chance to draw her in person. At the same time, he made a sketch of you. He didn't remember you tonight when you came to his apartment. Later on, he found the sketch and it reminded him of where he'd seen you before.
What was he doing with my wife? That's what I want to know. What business did he have taking my wife out?
All right, folks, safe. I was so sure I was here the night Monica was.
It was the only time he'd ever seen her. But that doesn't matter. We've got a photograph that confirms Mr. Vo's statement, Mr. Armstead.
That's enough talk. I have a right to counsel. No more questions.
Why did you lie?
No more questions.
Why did you lie?
Wasting your time talking to him. Why did you lie? You quit bullying me. I'll bully you, big shot. Here, give me back my glass.
Let him alone.
Take your hands off me.
Come on, no rough stuff, Dwayne.
I'll have your top for this. Wait, you kill her.
You got to call the cops?
Let me go.
Come on, what's the matter? You got crazy, Dwayne?
Killed her.
We're not sure. We've no proof.
I'll beat the truth out of you.
Take your hands off me.
Leave alone tonight.
Maybe if they knock themselves out, we'll be able to go home.
Why, you dumb lush?
Hey, go on.
You're through, smart guy. It's the last thing I ever do. I'll break you as a cop.
Can I close up now?
Shut up!
That's his car over there.
And he's still around here someplace.
Take a look down the alley. Come on, George. Let's straighten out the place again.
Like a dog. They're gonna hunt him down like a dog. Killing just don't make sense. Don't make sense to kill.
Peggy. She's alone. I want you to listen to me.
Would you leave me alone?
Peggy, please listen. Please listen to me, honey. This is important, Peggy. Peggy, are you there? Peggy, I'm sorry. I heard you and I'm sorry. Peggy, hello? Hello?
Why did you get out of my life?
Did you hear what I've been saying?
No, and I don't care.
There's no time to argue. Now try to keep calm and do as I say. This fellow Armstead you were with killed Monica Madison.
You mean the movie actress? Well, how do you...
Look, there's no time to explain. He's a murderer and he just got away from the police.
He got away from the police? But how do you... He killed Monica Madison?
Armstead is loose in the neighborhood, maybe in the block.
How?
Lock your door and keep it locked.
Yes, right.
Yes, right away, Al.
Do it now. Lock it. I'm coming right home. Hang up.
Please don't.
Get away from me!
You know why Monica Madison was murdered?
Leave me alone!
Stand still!
Why'd you run away from the police? Touch me! Don't touch me!
Stay home. The cops are after your friend Olmsted, and I could have killed you in the apartment, and they blame him. Where's Monica's caricature? One diamond
Oh, you're going crazy.
You're in with him. Peggy Olmsted and lush costumes. You're all against me.
Don't look at me like you're crazy.
Crazy, am I? That cop Stevens was in your apartment. What did he say to you? What do you know about the caricature?
What character? I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
know, tell me.
Don't, Al. I'm telling you the truth.
Listen, Candy. Whatever the cop Stevens told you to do, don't do it. Don't. You gotta help me, Candy.
Tell me what to do, Al. Just say it.
The caricature. Olmsted Stevens has it. You gotta get it for me. I gotta have it. I gotta. They'll kill me, see?
Yeah, sure. I'll help you, Al. I'll get it for you.
That's a lie. Like everything else about you, that's a lie.
No, Al. I'm trying to help you. I don't know how, but if you want the caricature, I'll get it for you.
You're lying. Just like the phony paint on your face.
I love you, baby.
Where is it? Tell me. You gotta help me, Candy. Candy, please.
You're crazy.
I did it for us, for you. I tried to get some money from Monica so you and we could go off together. She told me she'd tell the cops. I had to stop her.
Somebody please help me. Al,
I love you, Candy. You know that, don't you? Whatever I did, I did for you. You'll tell me where the caricature is now. Won't you, Candy? Where is it?
I have it here, Bo.
Give it to me.
No, I can't. It's evidence that will hang you.
Not that night, Bo.
yourself another artist, Joe.
Huh?
Why? Why did he do it? Why?
I tried to tell you at your party, later at my place, what it was. What was going on behind your back. I was hurt. I'm afraid I tried to hurt you, too. I tried to force myself. I couldn't do it.
Save it till I make a call, will you, Mr. Armstead? Dwayne speaking. Yeah, I'm still at the club. Better send the wagon down here. Huh? Yeah, that makes another 2 for tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's sort of a record at that. A little more than an hour. Yeah, I'll see you later. Want to tell us about it, Mr. Armstead?
Monica met Bo during the filming of Blondes on Broadway. She was commissioned to draw several of the actors, I believe. She told me then we were through that she'd fallen in love with a handsome and talented artist. That was something new for Monica. Producers, studio executives, directors were more hostile. Anybody in the business could do her any good. I'd always managed to keep her by showering her with expensive gifts. I gave her the diamond choker. Same as Bo's drawing of Monica.
Tied in the drawing, huh?
She took it and said, "It's beautiful. I'm sure Al will like it on me." A week ago, she told me Bo was trying to blackmail her. She had good reason to be worried. I was always willing to have her back on the rebound, so I promised to help her. We came here that night so she could point him out to me.
That's the night the picture was taken.
Yes. I found out then that Peggy was married to him. It was obvious she knew nothing about his blackmail scheme. A few days later, Monica called me to tell me that everything was all right. She threatened Bo with the police, and she thought he wouldn't bother her again. So everything was back to normal in a few days. Last night at the premiere was the real kiss-off. She waited till we arrived at the theater to tell me that she was going to Italy to make a picture. While she was there, she was going to marry the producer of the picture. I was tempted to kill her myself.
You argued with her before the premiere?
Before, during, and after.
Yeah, what about the party?
We drank champagne and argued some more.
She left the party in a hurry. What made her do that?
It was a phone call. She didn't tell me what it was, just ran out. I got outside, she was getting into a cab, and I followed her in my car. If it hadn't been for a few traffic lights, I might have been in time to save her. I came in here to look for her, but couldn't find her. And something told me to look across the street. She was dead. And I was happy. No, I don't remember how I felt. She'd always come back to me before. I ran in here to call the police. There was no doubt that Bo had murdered her, but I had to have proof. I wasn't thinking clearly. It's ridiculous. I wanted to...
You intended to bodily harm Mrs. Bo?
Oh, no. It's crazy, but I wanted her to know about Monica and her husband.
What about this?
Well, it struck me as odd at the time. He wouldn't let me look at one portfolio and handed me another. Then, leafing through it, I came across Monica's caricature. Then it came back to me. I remembered she was wearing the choker at the premiere. It wasn't on her body when I found her.
You took it then, the caricature?
Yes, I thought it might prove something against Bo. Luckily for me, I was right. Sergeant Stevens here was interrogating me. He told me that Bo had said he'd only seen Monica alive once. At the time this photograph was taken. If that's true, how is it possible for Bo to make an almost detailed drawing of the diamond choker? She wore a plain necklace that night.
Sure enough. In this picture, she's wearing a necklace.
Then I remembered. The portfolio. He wouldn't let me look at it. Jumped at his wife and she touched it. I would have gambled he hid the choker in it.
I'll have to type this up for the superintendent, Mr. Armstead. I want your story in detail.
Certainly.
We'll need Mrs. Vogt for this, too.
I'll get her.
Sorry, Stevens.
That's all right, Dwayne. Better take the choker with you. Just between the two of us, George, how'd I get those cuts on my arm?
One of those young hoods had a knife. Must have sliced you up a bit.
Young hoods? I don't remember any young hoods.
Yeah? Well, you were loaded. You sure wheeled tar out of him. He took off down the alley in a cloud of dust.
You were there? You saw this?
I held your coat, Sergeant.
They were raising up a storm in here when you told them to step out in the alley.
Yeah. Saw one of them pull his knife out. I started in to help, but you tore into him by yourself. They were yelling bloody murder and running down the alley in no time flat. I asked you if you were night. You said you were okay. Put your coat on and went back in the club.
Boy, I sure don't remember any of this. Was this before or after I left the club with the blonde?
About a half an hour before, Sergeant.
Was I gone long?
Hours.
What's the matter, Sergeant?
Just some time I can't account for, that's all.
You were with the blonde, weren't you?
No, it seems I left her right after I left here.
Well, you don't know one, aren't you?
That's what you think. Well, good night.
I guess we can go home now.